All right. Continued discussion of Trading Places. So,
Yeah! The bigot board.
so at the it begins.
Okay.
I want to start with how the movie begins, and then what I was first noticing in there. They begin with that little montage of showing the rich parts of the society and the poor parts of the society.
Him being catered to by everybody.
Yeah, and I really like the jumping back and forth, showing like this, the rich part of town, there's the poor part of town. It's just showing that contrast.
I like that, but I thought that they were just a little bit too much.
It was long. It was a little long intro for
That's
it.
what I was.
I was like, I get it. They're super rich. I know.
Yeah, but it also I like that it showed that story of him getting prepared. They could have cut it down a lot, and there were a few times throughout the movie where they'd throw in random shots. Like this one had a lot of shots of the statue in the beginning. Later, I think when he's getting dragged out, when Dan Aykroyd's getting dragged out of the club, they cut to a lot of pictures, the portraits on the wall, and that's showing like the generations of people looking down on him, the entire club looking down on him. But it's kind of odd thrown in there shots on the wall. So it drags a little bit in those. They put a little too much in there. They could have chopped it. When one of the two old white men is reading the newspaper, on the back of it has an ad for the Apple II.
Oh yeah.
That made me laugh in there. The Christmas gift, the Apple II.
Apple II.
All right. Let's see. They offer to pay Eddie Murphy $80,000 salary, which is 1983 $80,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean it's already. I would take an $80,000 salary now. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
But in 1983 money,
still like
that's
a good amount of money.
I'd like that money. But in a Wall Street type job, that would be less in there.
Yeah.
Frank Oz. I really like seeing Frank Oz in this movie, and for me,
who's Frank Oz?
It takes me a minute to recognize him, but I recognize the voice.
The Wizard.
He's a lot of things. He's
I don't know who he is.
I know it's Al Frank.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a character named Yoda?
I've heard of
Yoda?
him.
No. All right. Have you ever heard of a
He's Lord of
character
the
named
Rings, right?
Miss Piggy? Fozzie Bear.
Yeah.
I know Fozzie Bear.
The giant plant in
Fuzzy Barra.
in not Yogi Berra.
Oh.
Hey, boo-boo. Let's go get some coke.
So, all right, and also the plant in Little Shop of Horrors, the musical version, because Frank Oz directed that one. He's also a great director. He's directed a bunch of great movies, but Frank Oz is one of the original voices of the Muppets, and
Jim Henson died.
Yeah, so he was good. He worked on all the Jim Henson stuff.
That's what you're talking about there.
Yeah. So it was when he was reading. He's the kind of mostly bald guy with the mustache that's checking him in the police station and running down the list of things that he's got. Is watching all that, and he's like, "This is PCP, Angel Dust."
Oh, that
guy. The way he says that, I had to rewind the movie and play it again because it sounded just like Fozzie Bear, and so it was really funny to me hearing Fozzie Bear talk about PCP.
Yeah.
So I had to rewind that to hear that. So it's a little moment. If you want to think watch that again, go to that moment and play it, and just close your eyes and think of Fozzie Bear, and it's kind of funny.
So I guess Fozzie Bear is more his natural voice.
I think it's close to his natural voice.
Interesting.
His voice is a very interesting voice because it's like in the middle of a lot of voices.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's this weird. Like no one has a voice like that. It's so odd, and I think that's what makes him able to do all of that range of voices. Although it's a lot of in that very throaty voices with Miss Piggy and Yoda and all of that.
I wish he would have said these words.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We'll get to those words in a second.
Oh, into the words.
Hold on. All right, so
Tony's so excited.
the other tropes I was seeing in this, the look to camera, and I liked this look to camera.
Eddie Murphy.
I kind of liked it. The Eddie Murphy, the one look to camera. All right, there was an earlier look to camera during the party where someone looked at the camera, and that was just a glitch. That was something they left in. That was a problem. But they're explaining to Eddie Murphy the stock market and how it works with all these different things, and they explain pork bellies, like like bacon, which comes from pork bellies, bacon which you might find on a BLT sandwich. Just looking at the camera like they think I'm this dumb.
Yeah.
This is okay. It's a little ridiculous. So I kind of like that, like the camera. Since you've got this kind of silly '80s movie in there, that's one of those things that's allowed in there.
To be fair, though, he was like, trying to take money from people, pretending his legs were gone.
He's trying to get some money however he can, and that's the thing.
Yeah, but he may be stupid. It's not their. I'd be like, hey, how stupid?
Look,
are you?
it's stupid.
John
But see how
Valjean
stupid
in prison, right?
It's what?
Yeah, they're
I
exactly
know
the
what you're
same.
talking about.
What? Seriously,
I
like
know,
the reference
no,
is
it's-
valid. Like who doesn't? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. Could lead to take everything from him and lead him to life of crime, all of that. You take Danny Ocean and throw him into jail, and then he gets out, and what's he got to do? He's got to go and take down a bunch of casinos. Get 10 of his friends together, and then later get 11 of his friends together, and then maybe later even 12 of his friends together. But it's just
Nothing like that.
just happens. It's just like that. And then, all right, I wanted to look this up on here because at the end of the movie, Eddie Murphy comes out in that costume that's very reminiscent of Coming to America. And
Oh, yeah.
I had heard something about this, like that, have following up this one. So let's see. I'm going to look this one up.
While you're looking that up, you know what I really liked was
So I already found it here. It's 1988 is Coming to America, so it was quite a few years later. But it was also directed by.
Screw your Segway!
It was also directed by John Landis. So I think it definitely would have come out of that movie. Same director, same actor, of course, and it's I don't know. It seems like it came right from there, right from this movie. Let's see. Two of previous works together. The guy on Trading Places was a young, full of energy, curious, funny, fresh. The guy in Coming to America was a pig of the world.
Sorry, what?
So they were different people, but I don't know. It seemed like the similar thing in there. They were close type of characters.
Oh, you just mean the characters in general?
Yeah, like just the way he's
Yes.
dressed and the classic African dress. Like I don't know. It seemed like that was
Are you just
a
talking about
jumping
the,
off
Are you
point.
just talking about the costume or the?
Kind of the costume and the way the way he's acting of the I am not familiar with American customs type thing. It just seems like that was an inspiration point for doing an entire movie based around that kind of the character he was playing within that character. Just maybe. So what we're gonna talk about?
Oh, I really liked Dan Aykroyd when he's like just totally wasted.
Oh.
And he's eating that like fish or whatever, and he pulls it out. Like that was so
Is he hanging on the
realistic.
bus?
That was so realistic drunk to me. So everything about that, like I was like, oh my god, that looks like a drunk man.
Yeah.
He studied this.
Yeah, he was like, and I was like, oh god, that's. I thought that was funny. That was one of my favorite parts. I don't know why.
He's trying to do this professionally too. Drunken debates, eh?
Yeah.
So the first thing I was noticing in there is it was
Plug.
coming up. Well, I think the first thing that happened was when they referred to the Negroes, because there's saying,
Yeah, they're talking about it.
do you think we could take this man and turn him into that?
But no, but
He's a Negro. It's stealing is in their nature, and so as racist as that is in there,
What is it? There's the line he's been stealing. Like I can't remember.
stealing is such a good. Well, I don't know.
Such a good
But the entire movie does show that no, it was just the environment that he was in. So the whole movie is not really racist, but it does use that language. And since being based on a Mark Twain story, Mark Twain's even more racist. So they use a lot less N-words than Mark Twain ever did. So,
But screw Quentin Tarantino.
exactly. He has no excuse for it. This is modern day. Isn't that 1983 throwing
Just
it around?
because he set his back when slavery existed, and this was
This was set later. Than Tarantino's was set way before.
But no, he screw Tarantino. He's making it now.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't care. I'm putting that in there.
As much as I love Dan Aykroyd's drunk little thing,
It's interesting.
his blackface was just like stupid.
Oh yeah, that blackface. No, but he needed to be in
About
blackface. No, he needed to be in blackface because otherwise the guy would recognize him.
He
and
did not
he had
look
to be
like
in
it
that
at
room.
all, though.
And he had to be in that room because they all had to be in the room they couldn't just have one or three. I mean, the heist wasn't going well with the. All right, there was no reason for the blackface
There was no
in there.
reason for the blackface, and it's like
There's absolutely
he didn't look
none.
like I wouldn't. Who would have believed that?
No one
It
would
was
believe
horrible,
that.
no.
No one would believe it. It just
Horrible
looks terrible.
accent.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Hey man, all their accent, the Irish dude was fine.
Yeah.
But the Jamie Lee Curtis,
But hers was funny. Hers was funny because she was supposed to be German, but then she was thinking, only thing I can do is Swedish, and she throws in some German in there as well. Like she speaks German, so it's a joke on that her character doesn't get what she's doing. Everyone else is really good and getting into character and doing it well, and then she comes in like no, and then Dan Aykroyd's just the worst of all of it because he's this. God. I think maybe it could go with his character that he's so out of touch with culture because he's been in this elitist society for so long in the country club, and I'm sure the country club of white people just loves doing their minstrel shows and putting on the blackface. So maybe
I do blackface.
I mean,
sometimes.
I don't know. In that
Rocky Horror Picture Show blackface.
There's no blackface.
Not yet. Anyway,
I mean there has been, but there's not.
I did the makeup for a blackface once.
But that part was like with the ape thing. Like to me, I was like, okay, that's lame.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the ape should have put some black around the eyes, and then they would have looked more.
That ape looked nothing.
No. The crazy ape suit thing. So they say Negroes twice in the movie.
Oh, okay.
At least that I counted.
You tallied this.
I tallied some of them because the ones that they repeated a lot. The only reason I put pussy down there, it's the way they used it in the killing Eddie Murphy. He came in here crying like a pussy when he came in. So that kind of way, it's like
a cat.
Just seemed a little odd the way it was done, and not usually seen a lot of movies. Especially, I hadn't heard that before with everything else in it. I think the first boob scene that's shown in there is during that party when he goes upstairs, like someone's in your bedroom, and he's upstairs, and then there's boobs in there. So the whole up to that point in the movie, I'm like, that scene, I'm like, what? That's odd. I did not remember that from the Comedy Central version.
Yeah. TNT didn't have boobs.
So then the other F word that they use, because they do use they say fuck quite a lot in there. I didn't count that because that's in all R-rated movies nowadays. So I didn't count that one. There are way too many tallies to count. But the other F word that they use,
faggot.
That one, they say 3 times in the movie.
And the way they say it, just so nonchalant, like, hey, like I'm a faggot. It's like, yeah, it's just
you guys are
so not like that would not fly.
Because there's 2 white men. It's alright. So the word he used, bad, but in the scenario, the context that he's using it is the thing of, it's still. It's bad what he's using, but the joke of that what he's using at is these two white men are very creepy going on him. I would use the word perverts more than that. It seems like why are you 2 white men paying for all this stuff for me? What? You guys are a bunch of perverts. Then he gets he's naked in the back.
Jacuzzi. Like, oh, you in jacuzzi me?
Oh, whoa! I knew you were a bunch of perverts. You just switched that out for perverts, and
Well, in the Comedy Central version, they probably did that.
I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they put it in there. And then, of course, when he's eavesdropping in on the bathroom stall, that's when you get the big N-word in there. No longer saying Negroes anymore, not being PC in front of people. It's just like...
That's interesting.
So are we going to give Dan Aykroyd his job back? No, not after what he's done. That's crazy. So you're suggesting we keep Eddie Murphy in the job? No way! He's a near.
A near?
Can't you see the sheriff as a near?
But I think in that scene they kind of needed them to use the word nigger because he was sitting there and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, that is exactly what that character would use in that scene. So
just them two.
Yeah, it was just odd hearing that in this 80s comedy.
It was the branding them to sons of bitches.
Well, mostly that one. Mostly that guy. Because of the 2 one, he was the one that was more
he's definitely more of a dick.
The other guys seem to be more like, oh, what are you...
Doesn't like say, oh, screw my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As he's dying there. So that was definitely needed in what it is. That's what his character would say. And all of the words they were saying, that's the words they would use at this time and that. And it was made at that time. So, but
going back to boobs, would you guys, 80s boobs, like natural boobs, like usually now TV, they got
it was really nice.
It was nice to see some natural boobs.
It was really nice.
I was like, hey, you guys so used to these fake ones. I'm saying we're used to seeing them now, like, on the internet and TV or whatever. And you see some nice 80s boobs. Yeah. You saw about 4 sets.
There was a lot of, and Jamie Lee Curtis a few times in there.
Yeah.
I was thinking she was going to do it again when every time just to console someone. It was like, look what I got for you as your gift for Christmas. Yeah.
Booby time is here.
And the first girl that Dan Aykroyd was with did not get down to that much because she was classy.
Oh yeah. But like how he walks in and his pants are down. Like the butler would be sir. Okay, they just
Do you
opens
need
the door.
anything, sir?
Yeah.
So Jamie Lee Curtis was 25 at the time, which I think is the age her character was in the movie. They said her character was 25.
Wasn't she born hermaphrodite? That's what they say on the internet. I don't know.
I don't know, but she had boobs.
Yeah, she sure did.
So I mean,
Hey, how much did this movie make?
this movie made good money. It was the second highest earning R-rated. But it cost $15 million to make, and it made $90 million.
It's good profit.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Plus, as was box office, I mean, this thing was
Oh, yeah,
popular,
you're not-
been
that's-
sold VHS.
Not
all
counting
that.
showing it on TV all the time.
Oh, I never
and,
bet a
and-
buck.
and getting all that. No.
I meant to bet a buck.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda been a buck.
What was the bet?
No, we were gonna guess each other's ratings at the beginning. I wanted to do that.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
Well,
bet that I
my
said like the N word or the F word.
I bet.
I should have. Oh, I should have done that. Damn it! I should have just told you by yourself.
How long will it take
How
him
long?
before he says it?
Yeah, it's not even a matter of does he say it.
Yeah, no, we know he's gonna say it. Come on, it's just how long does it take?
It'd be kind of ruined because then it's just all like we bring it up. Then he says,
Well, no, because it's on there and just he's gonna see it and it's gonna inspire him to say it. But how long?
How long
He's
is
just gonna go, hey, look. Yeah, it would have been before we started, or right when we started. If I didn't stop you before that, that's good.
That's true.
Any other interesting things you wanted to bring up in this? Interesting things in this movie. Maybe?
Oh yeah, what's his name? Al Franklin or whatever.
Al Franken.
Franken. Yeah, I was like, hey, it's the SNL guy. I totally forgot he was in it for
Some
a
SNL.
very brief
Yeah.
moment.
When they were in the stock exchange, I was waiting for Bane to come in. Just take all their.
See, that'd be a good movie. Just instead of for movie parodying it, where it just skips from film to film throughout the film.
Mhm.
It's just yeah.
You know, one thing I was thinking
Right there.
when they're in the car, and they have the computers in the car, I was like, oh, that's actually pretty advanced.
Mm.
They have their little
Yeah.
car phone modem thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's like
They had two.
heavy duty back
They
then.
had two
Freaking
clocks.
stock market people.
I was 3 clocks.
3 clocks.
Yeah.
Hong Kong, London.
Right.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see those white people get their comeuppance at the end.
Yeah, that was real. That like the ending was really like, the way they did it.
We're gonna make you bankrupt.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my stock market. I want it. It's my money.
Oh yeah,
It's
well,
not fair.
no, they're like, we have been here since 150 years. I was like, yeah,
So you got to see the sequel.
99%.
Where they kill themselves. Yeah, that.
Well, no, now they're the 1%. Or well, no, they're not the 1% anymore.
How was that moment when Dan Aykroyd was about to shoot himself, or went through to shoot himself?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, and it doesn't go off and throws it off. Pew! Wah, wah.
yeah.
But
I forgot
that
about
would have
that
been a
part.
different movie if that gun had gone off right then.
Like the artist.
Yeah. The end. I want to see. They got to do that in one of these movies. Just unexpectedly in the middle of the movie, and they actually do kill themselves in it.
Make it a
And-
comedy. Make it Medea kills herself.
I
Finally.
mean, it's happened in other movies, but then it becomes that
Yeah.
about that. But just like your character who you've been following this whole time, then kills himself, and then
And then
what do you do? You go on.
make the movie 2 hours long.
The rest of
and
it-
then add an hour and 15 into it, if that happens, and then right there you put a little slate saying this is the end of the film. You should stop watching. It's just gonna be black after this, and then just roll.
I mean,
credits
that's
and black.
one way you could do
And
it.
just nothing, and just
You could do it that
an
way.
hour of black post movie.
What if you went on with the rest of the movie and they're like, oh man, he killed himself. All right, let's keep going with this idea, this plot that we're going on, and you still get the crazy gorilla party at the end. But just some guy killed
You
himself
really like that gorilla
and
party,
destroyed it. It's look, that launched Jim Belushi's career.
Yeah.
I like that Jim Belushi is the constant reminder that John Belushi's dead. That's pretty much what the rest of his existence is. It's like, hey, look, it's not his brother.
It's not John Belushi.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw him. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh.
He's gone.
Wouldn't this role have been a lot different if it were John Belushi in there? No. And then in a Dan Aykroyd movie too, so you're like, hey, look, it's Blues Brothers reunion. Oh, yeah, no,
No.
it's the other Blues Brother, the wrong one.
No.
So,
The wrong one died.
oh, I mean, Jim Belushi would have. I think He would
That's
have
like
been a
Chris
better.
Farley's brother.
He would have been better actor. Like we would have accepted him more if John Belushi was still alive. I mean, like, oh, like he's the less funny of the two, but it's fine. He's still good. It's just comparing
And
him
his
to his
brother
brother.
probably would have helped him.
It's kind of like
He's just like
if
a
Andy
bootleg.
Kaufman's brother was it like if he had a brother in comedy, you'd be like, no, you're nowhere as good as Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
But he just
That's
looks
the
like a
thing.
bootleg knockoff, like with Chris Farley's brother.
Yeah.
It's like just bootleg.
It's-
Like
He's the Mexican Turbo Man.
he's the Shasta to the Pepsi or Coke, whatever you guys like.
Don't diss Shasta.
Yeah, don't you? This is why we're in a two-party system in America. Because you refuse to accept
Have you
Shasta
had
in the
Shasta?
Pepsi Challenge.
Have you had Beverly?
Oh God, no.
I've had soda.
Beverly is a soda, sir.
No, it's just like it's like cola,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what brand is this? It's cola. All right.
So
Liter of cola.
Liter of cola.
3 liters of Coca-Cola. That's when it gets ghetto.
Oh yeah.
Good sir.
So
Tiki punch.
Although that is
3 liters. Yeah.
good times. Good times.
So yeah, it was a good movie. It was better than I had remembered, so I was like really enjoyed watching it. I was like,
I was a little
forgot
concerned
how
when
good
I was
this
going into it because I
Really?
do remember it. No, I remember it very fondly, but it's been a few years since I've watched it, and it's that kind of
I
thing.
see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you don't know, and you're like, oh no.
I didn't have that.
Am I
but
not-
I can really understand
Because
that.
you watch so many, if you watch
Yeah.
enough movies that you remember from a child, you're like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun when we watch this. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, never mind. It just
Like
I
as a
don't
kid,
want.
I actually enjoyed Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, so you're like, I don't want this to turn into Jingle All the Way. Please don't.
Jingle All the Way is like the prime
don't
example
do
I
it.
think for me ever in my life because I actually enjoyed that as a kid.
Disappointment. is,
I'm just like,
You're returning
I liked
that
this
topic.
piece of shit.
That's like stupid Tim Burton. The thing that annoys me when he was saying when he made Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and he said, "Don't go back and rewatch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You only think it's good because you watched it when you were a kid,
No, it's still
but it's
good.
not. No, it's a great movie.
yeah, Charlie
But
Chocolate. Where Willy Wonka?
He's an idiot with that.
No,
It's
that
like
was
he'll
also
say
really-
that's like saying don't go.
Although I
He was
didn't-
saying he only remakes movies that that the originals weren't good enough of, and his Planet of the Apes is so much worse than the original.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
insulting.
it's very insulting. He had said that at one point. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
entitled prick.
Yeah,
Although I didn't.
but I try to keep that away
I was
because
one of the
that's
people
just
that
stuff I've
didn't
heard,
just
so.
hate the new one.
No, I
Willy-
didn't.
The new Willy Wonka.
I've got them both on DVD.
I liked it. Like I thought it was cool.
I
but
enjoy both of them, but you don't. That's
I actually
that's a
prefer
movie
the
that
older
really holds
one.
up.
The
Yeah,
original,
no, I prefer the older
personally.
one.
Most yeah.
You still got both of them. The new one's still good. You don't like. You don't keep it. It's not that they replaced the original one and put the new one in there. It's
Fuck Tim Burton.
just another one. Yeah,
You wanna fuck
but he also does some good. I mean, he does some good stuff.
If I videotape it and sell it to TMZ.
He'd take
That's true.
a huge shower afterwards, and also they have to do it through a sheet. He just seems dirty.
Would you be on top or
He seems kind of dirty.
I'd be a top.
Especially
You're
that
a
hair.
dick.
It's just like
Yeah, the sheet
like
thing.
he's never cleaned his hair ever.
Amish
I
style.
don't know.
No
Not
offense
really
to our
style.
Amish viewers, but
Yeah.
There's something really
They could be
appropriate to say. I feel like not
Say
saying
it,
it. I'm just like I'm not saying it.
Yeah, we don't want to say any inappropriate stuff on here.
yeah.
So what were those words again they used in the movie?
Faggot, nigger. Damn it, faggots. I mean, pussy and Negroes, but
Yeah.
Negro pussy. Yeah, there we go. Let's put them all together. Some faggot Negro pussy.
So,
You've got a faggoty Negro pussy.
so you don't want to offend anyone. You don't want to.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for watching this, and join us for our cheesy clip show next week.
Could have done blackface.
Yay!
Oh
We coulda came in
no, you
blackface.
couldn't have done blackface.
I would love to see you. in
Oh,
black, man.
we'll do some post blackface. Good night. Merry Christmas.